This week, we're in South Africa's Western Cape, exploring mountains once considered to be home to dragons, and taking inspiration from an old friend for our future Portugal plans, before jumping on a flight up to Joburg, where we pick up our new home on wheels. Our African van life adventure starts with a journey towards Lesotho, and a big question that needs answering. Stick around to find out who and what we're talking about. We are the Newbys, a family of travel adventurers on a mission to make our minutes and seconds matter. I'm Tara, born and raised in Africa and obsessed with wild things and wild places. This is John. He's lived a life on the road and has visited 163 countries. And this is our son Crusoe, who has ambitions to get to 100 countries before he goes to school. He's going to need our help with that, so hit that subscribe button and join us every Sunday as we discover our extraordinary world as a family, teaching us all to be brave, think big, and to explore. We have arrived in the Western Cape.
We've arrived in the Western Cape, South Africa.
We're staying with some friends in Franschoek, which is about an hour outside of Cape Town. And we are heading off this morning to a little area called La Rochelle.
Absolutely, yeah. So as Tara said, we're staying with Mark and Caroline, Isabel and Quinn. And we are heading out for a little walk this morning to be guided around some mountain passes by Isabel and Quinn, two young explorers here in South Africa.
Yeah, they live with alpacas in their garden.
Unbelievable.
Imagine that.
Yeah. Off we go.
Off we go.
Here in the Western Cape are a series of mountains called the Drakenstein Mountains. And our friend Marky Mark was telling us a little bit about why they're called the Drakenstein Mountains. I love this story. It harps back to Slovenia when we were there, and the what were the animals in Slovenia, darling?
Salamanders.
The salamanders. So, what have the Drakenstein Mountains and salamanders got in common? Well, the answer is dragons. So, back in the olden days, when the first early settlers came to this area, they were afraid of the Drakenstein Mountains. They named them after the dragons because these mountain ranges here, have got a habit of just spontaneously bursting into flames because it's so dry in this area. So for no other reason than the fact that it's dry, the early settlers couldn't explain why the mountains would spontaneously just burst into flames, and could only attribute that fact to the possibility that there were dragons in there. And it actually took the early settlers 10 years to pluck up the courage and come and explore the Drakenstein Mountains.
That is amazing. I love stories like that. This whole area is amazing for hiking. So where we're heading today is called Mont Rochelle, and I think Caroline said yesterday that it's a UNESCO World Heritage Site. And a lot of that in this area has got to do with the ecology of this part of the world, which is dominated by an ecosystem known as Fynbos, which we'll tell you about in a second as we walk, because it is one of my favourite things about this part of South Africa. We have arrived. We're going to go for a little walk.
We've got some little friends waiting for us outside the car, don't we?
Yes,
Isabel's
we do.
right there.
Hello. Come on then, let's get going. All sorts of new stuff going on in the newbie world. Crusoe's got a new carrier. Tara's doing the driving. To the road.
Is that fun, Crusoe?
Yay, my boy.
I've picked up Quinn. It's not Crusoe on the back. Tara's got Crusoe.
Check this out. We haven't just multiplied spontaneously. Isn't that really clear in a way? So the really cool thing about the Fynbos biome is that it is the smallest biome in the world in terms of the amount of space it occupies, but it's the most diverse in terms of variety of plant life that you find within the Fynbos biome. And I love it because as you walk around, every single plant you look at is different. Different flowers, different leaves, different little pine cone thingies, proteas. There's so much colour, and if you just take the time to slow right down and appreciate it, it is remarkable what you uncover. It's absolutely beautiful.
And it's spring right now, so the colours are really out in force.
Yeah, there's like iridescent blue flowers, bright yellow flowers, pinks, and they're all like teeny tiny little things. So it's really cool. So look, just down there, beautiful little blue, like cornflower blue flowers in amongst the yellow. And it starts to get magic as we get further down the path. Fynbos is a pretty big deal environmentally speaking, and we were fascinated to learn that South Africa's Western Cape is more botanically diverse than the richest tropical rainforest in South America. It's the only floral kingdom wholly contained in a single country and is made up of some 8,700 different plant species. South Africa's national flower, the protea, is a member of the Fynbos kingdom, as is the ever-popular rooibos or red bush tea. We only had time for a relatively short hike through the Mont Rochelle area, but it took us ages as we stopped to admire and photograph the myriad of different plants and flowers. It was completely mesmerizing and utterly charming.
Next stop is...
We're going to head back down the hill. This road is called the Franschoek Pass. So we're going to go back down the Franschoek Pass and back down into the winelands. And this afternoon, we are going to visit what is considered to be the best and biggest garden in all of Africa. Who's the fellow who came to see it for the telly?
Monty Don.
There you go. It is a place and a farm called Babylonstoren. And for anybody who has any ambitions about sustainable living, growing your own produce, having a garden, eat your heart out. This place is magnificent.
And Caroline and Isabel and Quinn. Caroline's husband is called Mark, and he does a little bit of work there.
We are just about to go to Babylonstoren.
A special place.
A very special place. One of the best gardens in South Africa. Very pretty place.
We have arrived.
Wara, how are you?
Wara's good, and you?
Yeah, very good, thank you.
Nice. Hi.
Hey.
How are you?
Very good, Ivan, thanks. Having our temperatures taken, COVID standard. Oh, we've pulled up next to a bird.
A plover.
Oh, which one?
A plover of some form, I think.
So this is the garden right here.
Everything in it is edible.
Everything.
Some form.
Right, okay.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so cool.
That'll make Tara very happy.
Although the peaches are not yet ready. 2 weeks early.
Can you manage as well? Do you need help? This is the dream. Babylonstoren is a remarkable place, one of the oldest Cape Dutch farms in the area. It offers accommodation, fine dining and excellent wines, and is a place where every aspect of what they do is led by the ever-changing tapestry and botanical diversity of their incredible garden.
I think we're going to need something like this in Portugal.
Aren't we just?
Huh?
I knew it. You'd come here and it's just inspirational, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
So if you've been following our journey for a while now, you'll know that recently we've been to Portugal, where we've picked up a piece of land in northern Portugal in the Durham Valley. So coming to a place like this is providing us with absolutely terrific inspiration for what we could do possibly next year after we finish this journey through Africa with that piece of land. Plant our own fruits, plant our own food, have some chickens maybe. We know all about those chickens. Darling, I am so digging this garden.
Isn't it amazing?
Yeah. Did you know catnip, good mosquito repellent?
Really?
Yes. And also it's helpful for, if you chew on it, for something as well.
Amazing.
Yeah, well, I've read a lot just recently, so I'm getting a bit confused by it all.
Day here.
So there's also one up there that's helpful for PMS and for fertility.
Was it evening primrose?
No. It's up there. I don't know. So anyway, can't remember what it was, but I've got it on video so we can refer back.
One of the highlights of our visit to the garden was the Healing Garden, home to a wide array of medicinal plants from all over the world. Despite the fact that our ability to retain all the facts that we read wasn't really up to scratch, we were fascinated as we walked through the beds to learn about the awesome power of nature to heal. It is a bittersweet morning this morning. It's goodbye to Cape Town, which is always a sad day because Cape Town is truly magical. But the real adventure starts because we are on our way to Johannesburg, flying there this morning from Cape Town to be met at the airport by a representative from a company called Bushlaw, who have rented us our van version for our African adventure, and we start our massive road trip tomorrow.
Yeah, I can't wait. This is going to be a Toyota Hilux 4x4 with a tent on the roof. So it should be pretty good fun. Not dissimilar to what we've been driving around in Europe. I am so excited to think that this is the last time that we have to start moving around all of those bags for a very, very long time. Because at the other end of this flight, of course, we're going to be picking up our new van life van, and then everything goes in there and it stays in there for the next few months.
We just got booted from our original seats. We were in the emergency exit, but Crusoe said he wasn't keen on operating the doors. So we've been moved to the back of the plane, but she very kindly blocked a seat in the middle for us, so we've got a whole row. That's nice, isn't it? A very beautiful day in Cape Town today, isn't it?
I'm looking forward to seeing what that vehicle looks like.
Me too. That is Nick leaving. Feel a little bit okay.
Somewhere back there is Crusoe, who's just decided to become a member of the cabin crew. He's disappeared with the cabin crew.
We've arrived. We've been met by Dixon from Bushlaw, who's going to take us to our vehicle. Next stop, our home.
We'll be seeing
for
home,
6
yeah.
weeks. How are we doing, newbie boys?
We are very excited and rather hoping that that vehicle out there is ours.
How exciting.
Very, very good news. It is this vehicle.
How exciting.
Look at it.
Look at it. Hello, home.
Hello, home.
Let van life Africa begin.
We are going to have to do a van tour of this one.
Oh,
I'll tell you
yes.
what, look at it.
Oh my gosh, how exciting.
Plenty of space for the bags, darling.
Good. And so, with the paperwork signed and organised, Dixon took us through the important things we needed to know about our new home, like how to change a tyre in the sand and where various bits of kit were in case we ran into any trouble on the road. We were so excited as we explored the truck, and I was especially relieved to see just how much space we have in the tent. Plenty for the three of us to sleep comfortably for the next 6 weeks.
That's it. We are ready to rock and roll.
Ready?
Yeah.
Let's get going.
Let's get going. Here we go.
Van Life Africa starts
said, hey, right now,
Wow.
off we go.
Off we go.
Hey, I've got a good idea.
What's that?
Let's go to Lesotho.
Let's go to Lesotho. Can't wait. It's the first morning of our adventure. But before we go anywhere, we've had to come into a basement parking lot.
It's very dark down here.
Very dark down here. For a drive-through COVID test so that we can get into Lesotho.
Lesotho is the next stop. We are going via the Drakenstein Mountains, not to be confused with the Drakenstein Mountains, but they both mean dragons. And later on in our little adventure, we have promised Crusoe that we will see evidence of real live dragons.
How exciting.
Yeah.
For now though, it's a swab up a nose.
It is another swab up a nose.
Okay, those chin up a little. You see how brave we are. Yes, yes. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank
Have a lovely
you.
day, guys.
Thank you
Bye-bye. Much. Take care.
Right, so PCR tests are done. And now the driving begins. Our first stop is Drakenstein, which is near the gate into Lesotho, the border gate that will take us up the Sani Pass, which is where we hope to go tomorrow. So we should have our results within 24 hours. Fingers crossed we're negative and we can just carry on straight through.
Quite right. And if you look at a map, what we're basically doing is we're coming down from Johannesburg to the east part of Lesotho. We're going to drive up because Lesotho is basically this huge mountain in the middle of these flat plains with, of course, the Drakenstein Mountains around the outside of the northern part. So we're going to drive up the mountain, across the top, back down the other side and back into South Africa in the west, and then on to Namibia.
That's the plan.
That's the plan.
So this is pretty cool. We've left the freeway and that big blue mountain at the end of this road is Lesotho.
Yeah, all of that. You can see it all the way in front of us, and it is super cool just to imagine there's this mound of earth on the planet called Lesotho. Yeah, later today we will be driving up the Sani Pass. It's only a couple of hours away from where we stayed last night. The Sani Pass, by the way, is epic. I've driven it once before, only the last time I did it I drove it downwards. It was hectic, so I think we're getting it the right way round driving up, definitely. Well, you'll see. It's pretty cool anyway. The South African border is at the bottom, the Lesotho border is at the top.
How exciting. I cannot wait to see Lesotho. We are going to go and see dinosaur footprints.
Dragon footprints.
Dragon footprints.
So
We're going to go we're going to go and see a dam which supplies water to the city of Johannesburg.
Yeah.
And drive the Sani Pass.
And drive the Sani Pass.
I don't know if I'm brave enough to drive it.
I think you should. I think it'll be good fun. You'll love it. And remember, you are the expert off-road driver, not me.
I can see it though. It's like right at the top of the mountain and it's like hairpin after hairpin.
It's quite steep as well. It's a bit gnarly. It is a bit gnarly.
And it's 4x4. I feel like genuinely nervous. Oh my gosh, I can see it. No, I don't think I can do that.
Yeah, it's mega. There are some straight bits.
In between the hairpins.
Yeah. Can you see?
Yes, I can.
Wow.
So there you have it. We're in our home on wheels. I am so excited. And our first destination in the van is in the truck is one of Africa's most hidden gems and off the beaten track locations.
The kingdom in the sky.
The kingdom in the sky. John and I are still arguing over who's going to drive up the infamous Sani Pass, which is a mountain pass like no other, one of the most famous in the world and strictly 4x4 only. But in the meantime, if you've enjoyed this video, thank you so much for watching. Please hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already, leave us a comment, let us know what you think because we always love hearing from you. And we'll see you next week from the roof of Africa, Lesotho.
We'll see you next week.
See you next week.